So with the removal of the beta tag, Red Dead Online has pretty much been reshaped by Rockstar, with it looking like they've got plans to continue adding things for months and years to come to steadily grow the player base of the game, which is great for those of us playing. And with all that new content and, well, frankly, change of pace from Rockstar, the community is in a much different spirit, so I thought I would do something interesting. I decided to ask you guys what your top 3 things that you wanted to be added to Red Dead Online would be, and today we are going to look at your responses to that. So a couple of housekeeping things at the top of this, because I know there's a lot of new people here now. Grab a snack, grab a drink, we're going to be here for a minute, it's going to be fun, we're going to talk about Red Dead Online. Feel free to leave your comments to anything I say throughout this video at all in the comment section down below. Feel free to pause the video, go down there, comment, come back up, feel free to leave a few comments, totally fine. These are meant to be big discussion piece type videos, so that's what this is all about. It's just community opinion, because a lot of stuff has been changing lately, so I'm curious what you guys think, but not just the people featured in the video. I'm also curious what you guys who weren't featured in the video think as well. So without further ado, let's jump into what you guys think Red Dead Online still needs. And with that, the number 1 upvoted comment says, number 1, having dogs when going hunting to get birds, etc. I think that would be really cool. First off, I think, I know this is going to come up a lot, the dog thing. They're already in the game. Like, it's not that big of a deal. All you'd really have to do is, like, get a dog to pick up a toy and mocap that, and then, you know, have that be layered on top of a bird, and then, you know, put the birds, like, it's not that big of a deal to add that to the game, and I think it could be a really cool update for people. People could have dogs, and then you could have, like, you and your dog instead of, you know, if you're somebody who likes to play solo. That's a really good idea. I know it's been thrown around the community a lot lately, but I wanted to commend it because it's the first mention of it here, so I really like this idea. But number 2, they say being able to resell items that you have bought. If you guys have been subscribed for a while, you'll know I've been preaching this since like day 3 of the beta. I think I literally have a video up from like a week in or 3 days into the beta or something like that, really like not that long into the beta being out, and I was like, we need to be able to sell weapons. This is ridiculous. Frankly, you know, we still need to. Nothing has changed. We still need to be able to get rid of weapons. At least we can discard our horses, but I feel like we should at least get 50, 100, 200 bucks depending on what kind of horse breed you're potentially getting rid of. But hey, that's just me. And finally, they say number 3, just Mexico. That's in Mexico, period. Hey, I feel you. A lot of people are going to be asking for Mexico in this video, and I totally am with it, because Mexico, you know, I went over there before they patched the glitch to get over there, and as somebody who hasn't played Red Dead Redemption 1 all the way through yet, but full disclosure, I haven't even gotten to Mexico. So when I went over there in Red Dead Redemption 2, I was really struck by how pretty it was and how updated the graphics looked, and then even after playing Red Dead 1, those are definitely new textures in Red Dead 2. So I don't know about all the way out in Mexico, but I know for the most part, the game does not look the same, and so I haven't been able to compare the exact same 2 regions, but of the places I've seen, Red Dead 1 definitely does not look the same as Red Dead 2, even though it still holds up really well after how long it's been. But regardless, we gotta move on to the next comment. We're only 1 comment in, boys. This next one is from Skeleton Man, and it has 198 likes, and it says, number 1, heists. Number 2, I want to own a house/ranch. And number 3, I want to buy a wagon. Now, this was the one that I was waiting for, because I figured this was like the pinnacle, like the poster of things that we want in Red Dead Online, was just heists, houses, wagons. Even in what's it called, Old Town Roads, that if you guys don't know, because the channel's grown like 3x since then, I put out a song that was a parody of Old Town Roads, or Old Town Road, and it's Old Town Roads. And anyway, there's a line in there that's like, where the hell are heists, wagons, houses, and my poker? Because poker wasn't out yet. It's kind of the catch-all for everything Red Dead Online players have been wanting. So I definitely was expecting this one, but the fact that it has 198 likes only more proves that these are definitely things Rockstar needs to be working on. And I'm sure they are. But regardless, we're gonna move on. Mr. John Wilson with 85 likes says, a trapper to make bags bigger, more stuff to do up north with a butcher placed up there as well. I totally agree with this, and I know a lot of these comments are going to start off with me saying I totally agree with you, because I mean, probably not going to put a lot of stuff in here that I completely disagree with, but to be honest, I think these are really good ideas. Specifically, that's a great way to implement the trapper. However, I think if anyone was going to be making your bags bigger, it would probably just get delegated to like a thing you do at the fence, or something that comes with one of these, the new play styles that are coming up. If you guys don't know, there are new play styles coming into Red Dead Online revolving around a collector, a trader, and a bounty hunter. And they're going to have different like skill progression trees trees. I'm assuming they're going to be skill trees. However, that's not confirmed yet, but they are going to be some sort of like system you work your way through when you level up and unlock more rewards. I think a skill tree is a good way to visualize that. It might not actually look like that, but as far as to explain it now, I think that's a pretty safe way to think about it. But regardless, I think the making bags bigger is probably going to come hand in hand with the way that they execute on that, because I don't see a way for them to implement it without just flat out like being like, here's the trapper, except he can't do anything he can do in story mode. Somehow most of his clothing is in the tailors across the street, and by the way, he can only like fix your satchel, which we don't even have yet, for the record. We don't even have satchels. So as much as I really think this is a great idea, I don't know how they're gonna implement it. That being said, the second half of your comment, more stuff to do up north with the butcher placed up there as well. I think literally they should just copy and paste the Valentine butcher and throw him up north and maybe give him like some snowy clothes or something. Like, I think it's totally fine if they just copy and paste one of the butchers. I know they don't probably want to do that. However, I don't see a world where they continually keep this game running the way that it is and they don't have more to do up there. And we've already seen with this update, you know, they added Sadie Adler's house up there. Well, I mean, her house was already there, but they added her inside her house, which is cool. And then they added 2 or 3 new maps to Showdown series that are in Amberino. So there's the one that's in the mines. I think it's Annisburg Mines. That's on Last Stand. And then the same thing with Last Stand. There's a new Coulter map as well. So I think they're really starting to lean into that, because that's 3 things that are in the snow just since we've come out of beta. Whereas I can only recall Flacco or Falco was up there, and that's it, right? Like, I can't even, there's literally nothing else up there. So, you know, I think they're really leaning towards that. I think they're hearing that outcry, so to speak, and I think that they are definitely listening to it. Our boy Charles 1999 says, properties, property customization, and property related missions, sort of like the biker gangs in GTA, but more relevant to the RDR timeline. So this has 57 likes, by the way, so this is definitely a common thing. Obviously, we've already covered properties, but we haven't covered customization or the related missions. Now, I personally haven't played the biker gangs in GTA. I actually bought a copy of Grand Theft Auto for the Xbox One X because I wanted to kind of re-get my bearings with the way that Rockstar has completed an online, in a sense. I haven't really played GTA Online except for with some homies to like mod and blow crap up, and you know, there was never really a serious component to it the way that I take Red Dead, where I'm like, yo, I'm leveling up, boys. I remember just running from gas station to gas station trying to make money. I can't really attest to the intricacies of the way the biker gangs work. I did have, I think it was a cocaine lockup and like a weed house and like crap like that. I don't know how the biker gang missions work, so I unfortunately answer to that. However, I do think property related missions, the way that the nightclub missions worked in GTA, would be really cool. I think even things like on a small scale, like completing 5 sets of chores, like if you have a house, you have a separate daily challenge list for your house where you have to like feed your horses and do this and do that and do that. Even if it's not like a daily thing where you're gonna lose, you know, aspects of your house in game if you don't get on every day, they could still make it on a login basis, so it's every time you log in to play, you have to do these daily things or you're gonna get penalized with some course of action. That could be a really cool way to move about it. Personally, I'm not really sure how they would implement negative missions, which is to say, like, I don't know how, if you've got a property, they're gonna make doing missions stressful, if that makes sense, because you're not gonna lose anything. So there's got to be some sort of, you know, ebb and flow with the money related to the property. That's why I'm thinking maybe a daily challenge list, or maybe straight up people can steal it or something. I don't know. They really need something to add variance to it though, because if they don't have something to add variance to those kind of missions, they're just kind of like, you know, like even with the fetch quests that we currently have as stranger missions, there's some sort of like variety to them, as in like people might steal them, etc., etc. So I'm interested to see how they are, because these types of missions are obviously coming to the game. So I'm very excited to see what they do. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys have any opinions on that, by the way, or if you have played the biker gangs, let me know how that works. I'm really curious. But we gotta move on. We've got Lily, who says number 1, she wants a ranch. Boom, another properties tick. Number 2, she says she wants more passive money making activities, and 3, more haircuts. Now, I can relate to 2 of these specifically. I really think that there should be more beard styles, which is probably just because I have a beard in real life and I want to have a better beard in online. However, I get it. I'm not bitter. However, I know specifically from starting a female character, I think I had a female character for like 10 levels, but there's like very few hairstyles for girls. So, I mean, as much as there's as many girls as there is running around the game, they all kind of have the same 8 hairstyles, which is not to say that the guys don't. However, I think because the guys rely a little more on hats than the girls do, there's a little more variance in that sense. However, it's just really like, I don't know, it's really dry as far as the hair options. So I really wish they would add more hair options. And then obviously everybody wants ranches, so that's not the one I'm personally relating to. The other one I'm personally relating to is the more passive money making activities. And there's one that comes up later, I'm not exactly sure how later, but that says we should be able to own a saloon. This is combined with, maybe running or having any of the stranger things that you can rob. If you remember in the story mode, there's a lot of things you can rob that are like secret stores, not secret stores, but back rooms of stores, secret poker games, stuff like that. I think personally that we're probably going to be able to run each individual one of those, but in our own way. So we're probably going to be able to have, the only one I don't know about is the Rhodes, the one who keeps the dude in his basement. If you guys don't know, if you haven't played the story, if I can remember, I will link it right now, but I have a video. Basically, the gunsmith from Rhodes keeps a little boy in his basement. It's terrible. So that's the only one I don't know about, but the moonshine and strawberry, if you guys don't know, there's a moonshine distillery under the general store in Strawberry. So in story mode, if you peek in through a window and then you go confront the guy, you can rob that. It's a similar thing with the Saint Denis gunsmith. There's a poker game on the 3rd floor of his building. All of these things I'm sure you know if you played the story. However, a lot of people haven't, so I gotta throw those in here, but also for context, because I think those are gonna be the basis for what the DLCs are gonna look like for Red Dead Online. Maybe not all of them. It might be one DLC that's like the businesses pack. But if we've learned anything from GTA Online, they don't really release things like that. Like the nightclub DLC came out by itself. If I remember correctly, actually, I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments, but didn't the Viker Gangs thing and the cocaine lockups, didn't those both come out independently of each other as well? And provided that they did, or at least partially, that's the premise I'm going to operate on for the rest of this video. Feel free to check in the comments. You might double check me down there. But regardless, I don't think that these are all going to be on the same pack. I think it's probably going to be spread out over 2 or 3, but I think these are really good indications of passive money making activities, because join into them. Basically, you sign up, you sign up to be a moonshine distiller, or you go and you invest the 20,000 gold that Rockstar's going to make us pay to get our own distillery. It's probably going to be a roaming distillery like that other story mode mission. Or is that an online mission? No, it's story mode. Yeah, because you're role playing as the sheriff at that point. But regardless, this is, there's a lot of things there's a lot of ways they can take it. However, I definitely think Lily's number 2 here, this more passive money making activities, is something that's very well needed if you haven't been able to tell by my total tangent. And I think they're definitely going to be adding a lot of them. I think they're just trying to milk the community for whatever they can before they add them, unfortunately. All right, I'm gonna try to go through these a little bit faster now. I realize it's been like a while that I've been recording, so I'm gonna try to go through these a tiny bit faster, maybe give a little less of my own thoughts. So Mike Hamden says, number 1, legendary animal hunting free roam events, which I think is a great idea. You can already do that kind of for stranger missions, but I think a free roam event where there's like a few and maybe it's like, the aggression's extra ticked up and then you have to kill as many as possible, that could be really cool. Number 2, big heists with heist setups, which I think, if you've played GTA Online, is probably the pinnacle of that. I think they can do better as far as setup goes. However, I think that is spot on as far as what's coming. And number 3, he says fixes to clothing clipping on weapons. It's very annoying. I agree with that as well. I mean, we think somehow I have avoided, knock on wood, I've avoided the whole fat character bug. I think maybe it's because I only eat big game meat when I have to. Yeah, I can only imagine. I would not want to get on if my dude's belt was not clipping. It would just be so immersion breaking. Like, I don't even care if he's heavy. I just don't want it to not look right. We got another one here from Apple Gaming that says, number 1, owning a ranch. Number 2, building a ranch. Number 3, a luxury camp that allows you to set up in old abandoned homes. I think that would be really cool, especially since we saw precedent for that set in the story mode. Think that's, really thinking outside of the box while still staying in the wheelhouse of the game, which I appreciate. Matt Turner says, number 1, connection stability. Number 2, property and business ownership. And number 3, deeper crafting. I like the way that he said deeper, because because I think the way the current crafting system works is like, go grab 3 things and then press X. I wish there was some sort of variance to it. I don't really know if that is more about adding more things to the game that are harder to craft, or if it's just making things harder to craft in general. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think it would be cool maybe if there was some way that we could collect wood and have it get sent back to our, like if we could do stranger missions and then pick what we get paid in, like, oh, give me wood, and maybe Trelawney has a better connection for wood, and then we can build a wagon with wood instead of having to pay gold for it, and there's a workaround to get it through the free roam world instead of, you know, just paying money for it when it drops. That is wishful thinking. However, this is a wishful video, so I did want to add that here just because I thought that was a great idea. Deeper crafting. Go Matt. We got Corey Andrews here. He says, number 1, white teeth. Number 2, owning a ranch. Number 3, ability to own a dog on said ranch, or at least a dog from my camp. That has 85 likes as well. So, you know, I tried to sort these by most comment or like top comments, and YouTube just doesn't even understand what that means anymore apparently. But yeah, Corey, nice comment, man. I really like the idea of the dog. I know I said that in the very beginning, I think probably the first comment, but the dog, man, I really want a dog. Ethan Riley says, the ability to own a business, the ability to own ranches, a lot more revolvers and rifles instead of hatchets, and heists. So I know we've covered a lot of these already, so I'm gonna kind of blow past that one, but yeah, man, I totally agree. That also had 77 likes, by the way. And we got Mr. Nasheed here, and he says, first priority should be stability, then wagons, heists, Mexico, businesses, ranches, farming, more interactions with citizens, more types of guns and horses, player trading, more modes for showdown, and the grind should be slightly less. And he capitalized slightly less. And this was a pretty all-around comment. I mean, I feel like if Rockstar added everything that's in this one comment, Red Dead Online would be pretty much perfect. So I think that's probably what it would take to make Red Dead Online perfect, to be honest with you. And then our man Simon here says, number 1, owning properties and businesses to build up, farm, ranches, saloons, etc. Number 2, heists, and number 3, an actual PvP toggle on or off. So apparently it sounds like defensive mode is not working for Simon. So Simon, if you're watching this video, let me know what your thoughts on defensive mode are. Is it not enough? Is it too much? Let me know. No More Noodles Knows says, number 1, coats you can unbutton and button up. Number 2, purchasable boats. Number 3, online robberies, banks, stagecoaches, and houses. Number 4, offlines hairstyles, which, I mean, we've talked about hairstyles already today. We haven't talked about boats, but I feel like that's a pretty common thing. Everybody wants a boat. I mean, I feel like everybody wants boats, man. We want boats, boy. I like me some boats. Next up, we've got a comment from Louie that says, number 1, own properties such as ranches, cabins, and houses. Number 2, a variety of new clothes and ponchos and fix the same clothing bugs for females. And number 3, a way to change your character online with the first time being free. I agree, however, I don't think the first time's gonna be free on that last one, Louie. And then Cash Don't Last says, number 1, pets. Number 2, normal teeth. Number 3, land/home ownership, not camps. And number 4, carriages and wagons. And then Smiley Man says, I have 6. Mexico, eye patches, pocket watches and vests, properties, robbing stores and free roam, golden/silver rings, and that is it. And I think that's actually going to be where I call this video quits as well. There's a lot more of these comments. Actually, just thumbing through one I wanted to mention. This Fruity Bubba Guy says, the ability to customize your bow. I think that would be awesome. I too think that would be awesome, man. I think that would be dope, actually. Especially if you could like get somebody to engrave it with wood. Like maybe there's some Navajo missions. Maybe not. I don't think there's gonna be Navajo, but if there's some, isn't it Wapiti in the game? Regardless, though, if you could go there and they could carve your bow, that would be dope. With some like Native American like patterns and stuff. I think anything like that, especially because Charles is the one who gives you the bow in story mode. So, you know, I think they could do a lot of parallels with story mode, since that's clearly the place that they're going to with it. But like I said, I think I'm gonna call this video quits. So let me know in the comments section down below how you felt about these suggestions that everybody has been leaving. Did I miss some? Did I miss your comment? Leave another one down here, and if I like it, I will pin it. I'll try to be replying to as many of them as possible, because like I said, I really want to stir the pot with this. I really want to have a big conversation about what we need in this game, because as much as everybody seems to want a bunch of stuff, it doesn't really seem like anyone's on the same page. So maybe you heard something here that you hadn't thought of before. Let me know, like I said, everything in the comment section down below. I'll be looking forward to talking with you guys there, and I will see you guys very, very soon with a brand new Red Dead Online video. Peace.